Rutherford Issues with Bryan Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Use caulk or weather stripping to seal leaks around your windows and doors. Stop those drafts, one of the quickest ways to lower your winter bill. More energy-saving ideas at mte.com/myenergyplan. It's time to catch up with James Price of the Better Business Bureau. And James, are you ready for whatever Mother Nature throws our way?
Oh, it seems like there's going to be a trip in the grocery store in the near future, Maybe we're going to hunker down at home, make sure you have plenty to eat and videos to watch, and we'll see what happens there.
I was watching a video, and this guy was talking about he's created this system that can go through and track the inventory at grocery stores of like milk, bread, eggs, that kind of thing. Did that during the pandemic, and so pulled it out here during this ice storm. And it is amazing how many people buy just bread and milk and eggs. Those are the three. So I guess, milk, bread cereal, or I don't know what they're going to do with all that milk and bread.
Well, it's, that's always been the strategy. That's why, in the grocery store, they put them in the back. So you have to walk past everything else and fill up your cart along the way, so. Yeah,
for me, it's Little Debbie's. I've gotten my, little snack cakes all ready to go. The Valentine snack cakes are out there. So, but
it's another season upon us.
Oh, I know. I was going to say, if you're getting Valentine's, things and that's all out in the stores. And I got my lovely W-2 form this week in the mail. I know you're probably, if you haven't gotten it, you'll get it before the end of the month. That just is always a reminder that Uncle Sam has his hand out.
That's right. It is tax season. And, there's a lot of different things about tax season that we can talk about. How to choose a tax preparer, avoid being ghosted by your tax preparer, IRS Taxpayer's Guide to Identity Theft, accountants, tax preparer, simplify your finances. All these things you can find on bbb.org, getting ready for tax season. Of course, out of all these different ones that, we have to choose from, of course, what we kind of default to is what are the tips to avoid tax scams in our area, what to look out for. And so let's just talk about that today a little bit, how to avoid those tax scams overall. And we'll start off with the tips, how to avoid tax scams, because this is really where the rubber meets the road. And really the best way to avoid tax identity theft is to file your taxes early as possible. File before a scammer can use your information to file a fake return and get your money. And so as soon as you have all the documentation that you have, go ahead and do it. People who just wait and procrastinate, that money kind of stays out there like, I guess like on a money tree for the scammers. They just kind of pick it off the tree. So, get in there, get it done. Of course, I don't know if it works the other way. I don't think it works if you owe money, if the scammer will go in there and pay it for you.
I've never found one.
But if you're getting money back, then you definitely want to go in there and file your taxes early. Either way, you want to file as early as possible.
Filing as early as possible helps with that. But there are so many pitfalls and so many different ways that scammers, I know you're going to share a lot of these and ways to kind of be on alert for that.
Yeah, absolutely. In the United States, jot down your personal identification PIN, your PIN number from the IRS before you file your return. It's a 6-digit number that confirms your identity and your social security number. It's important to note that you cannot opt out once you get an IP PIN. So once you apply, you must provide that IP PIN each year when you file your taxes. The IRS is going to provide you the PIN online, send you a new PIN each December by postal mail. Visit the IRS for more information about the program, or you can read those tips on BBB. So this is a really good way another good step to make sure that you get it. You're going to get a new PIN every year, and you'll get that PIN in the mail. Nobody from the IRS is going to call and give it to you. They're not going to text it to you, or they're not going to text you and say, hey, we're just trying to validate your PIN number. Can you send me your PIN number and validate it? There's all different kinds of ways once you get your PIN that the scammers might want to get it out of you. So hold those close to your heart.
I bet those scammers are going to know that they're going to figure out a way to try to do that, aren't they?
Absolutely. Which is a good reason why, you're going to get a new one every year, and you'll get it in December. So you don't get it too early to start working on your taxes. And kind of going to number 3 right here, which we just said, remember, the IRS does not initiate contact with taxpayers by email, text message, or social media to request personal or financial information. This includes requests for PIN numbers, passwords, or similar access information for credit cards, banks, and other financial accounts. The IRS just is not going to contact you that way. If you're really in a whole lot of trouble, they'll probably knock on your door. But other than that, they're not going to, send you a text message or any other way to email. They just don't operate that way. So if you start getting email and text messages or stuff on social media for referring to your taxes, or you better do this, or we're going to come get you, you're probably dealing with a scammer. And the best thing to do is just, don't reply.
Yeah, that sounds like a scammer's MO for sure.
Mm-hmm. Next thing is watch for bad grammar and odd punctuation when reading emails and letters claiming to be from the IRS. If you read awkward or poorly worded sentences, weird capitalization, grammar, those are all kind of signs that scam. And that's just not for the IRS. That's for anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you get an email that says that you have an overdue library book and it's all, the grammar's not correct, chances are it's just a scammer trying to get some money from you. If you get tax information delivered electronically from your employer or other entity, treat that information carefully. Download it into a password protected computer, and make sure you have a good password. Don't use password or 1 2 3 4.
How did we both say that at the same time?
Just think up something original that the scammers don't already know. You'd be surprised. They kind of do a research every year how many people are using password for their password, and it's amazing how many people do it. It's crazy. Next one, only deal with trustworthy tax professionals and tax preparation services. So, if you go to bbb.org, we have a whole segment on how to select somebody to help you do with your taxes. For many people, significant life changes, business ownership, or simply lack of knowledge about ever-changing tax laws make finding trustworthy tax preparer a good idea. That all said, not all tax preparers have the same level of experience and training. And you can find some of those tips on bbb.org, and always look for the seal of a better business, an accredited business. The other thing too is that we've heard a lot about the big bill this year.
Yeah, big beautiful bill.
Yeah. So
BBB,
not to be confused with the Better Business Bureau, but there are some tax changes in that for this year, and so that's another reason why you might want to search out a professional who knows it and who's keeping up with the industry to make sure that you get the most out of your tax return.
Yeah, that is a good thing to remember, because I hear that it was one of the biggest revamps of all of that that we've seen in quite some time. So lots of changes that could affect you.
And talking to a lot of businesses, throughout the year, several of them have said, their tax situation is going to change this year because of that. And so whether you're a business, you own your own business or whatever, make sure that you know what those changes are. Next one, check out websites carefully to ensure that you access the real IRS website when filling out your taxes electronically or requiring additional information. This also means that if you get an email or a text message that says, hey, here's a link to go file your tax return, you don't want to click on that. You actually want to find the website yourself and go do it. Don't follow a link that somebody gives you. That's just liable to be a very nice setup website where you can fill out all your tax information, hit submit, and it goes right to the scammer who just turns around and files the real tax return and gets all your money back.
Very good information there. We've got time for a few more ways to avoid being scammed during this tax season. I think about 3 or 4 minutes or so.
Yeah. So, when in doubt, contact the IRS directly to confirm any contact you receive is legitimate. If you're talking with a scammer, just stop talking to them overall and contact the IRS independently. Go look for the number yourself from the IRS to make sure that you got the right one. You can find that information on BBB's website. The IRS website is 1-800-908-4490. And of course, you can find those numbers and websites on bbb.org. And of course, if you're a victim of tax fraud, you can contact the IRS at that number. You can also contact the FTC for the identity theft program at identitytheft.gov. Those are some of the key points of avoiding tax scams. Again, I would encourage anybody who's not sure what they're going to do for their tax, go to bbb.org and just look up all the different tax resources that we have. And I'm sure the IRS has a vast amount of tax resources. But I would say out of all this, the number one thing you want to do is get on it early. As soon as you get all your information, get your taxes filed, get them out of the way. We've been told all along that everybody's going to be getting money back. So everybody needs to be everybody but the scammers that are going to get money back this year. Yeah,
we want to make sure that you get your money, So the BBB's website is a great place. I know we talked about scams today, but there are other tips that you have on the website, resources, things of that nature. So, and especially maybe if you're looking for someone to prepare your taxes, there are even tips on some of the questions to ask for that. So a great resource is the BBB website, and hope folks will check it out. James, I know that we're in the doldrums of wintertime here and all as well, but there will be some BBB events coming up in the future here locally, I'm sure, that we'll be telling folks about here in the coming months too, right?
Oh yeah. The next big one we have on our agenda is the Big Blue Bash coming up in the next couple of months. Businesses can get involved with that by reaching out to me at jprice@gobbb.org and learn more about that. And businesses can now register and apply for the Torch and Spark Awards for the best businesses in Middle Tennessee.
All right, so check out the BBB's website. James Price has been our guest this morning. James, I appreciate it. Stay safe in all this winter mess that's coming.
Thank you, Brian.
If you need to find out more about the BBB, bbb.org. Pretty easy to find. Well, for my pal James Price, I'm Bryan Barrett. Until next time, take care out there.